Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to Music Forward's Open Mic Friday. We are so excited to have you here with us. Listen, it is a Friday night. The world is open and you are here with us. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to spend this portion of your Friday night with us, and we do not take that for granted. Thank you so much for being here. You will not regret this time spent with Music Forward Open Mic Fridays. My name is Lydia Caesar, and I am your hostess with the mostest. And it is my honor to host such an amazing event every other Friday night. So you might hear a song in the background right now. You're vibing to it because it is a bop. The song is called In My Dreams by Yancy Abril. So you can go and find that song and show love to, independent artistry. Also, do me a favor. I know somebody probably just sent you this link like, hey, come watch me perform. I want you to take a minute and send the link to somebody. Just send it to your best friend, send it to your mom, send it to your auntie, your sister, your brother. Tell them that they're going to enjoy some raw, independent artist talent tonight. So have them tune in. We want to fill up this room so that these artists can get as much exposure as possible, because that's what it's about when you're an artist. So I want to thank you for joining us on Twitch. Make sure that you subscribe. That is the platform that we're on right now. So if you have a Twitch account, subscribe. And if you don't, create one and subscribe to our account so that you never miss out on what is going on with Music Forward. Before we start the program, I want to tell you a little bit about Music Forward and Open Mic Fridays. Because like I said, somebody probably just was like, hey, watch me perform. Here's the link. And you may not know where you are or what exactly you are watching. So what is Music Forward? It is an organization that connects young people from our communities directly to the music industry. How? Through career and artist development programming designed to transform young lives, inspire careers, and champion a more inclusive music industry. Listen, I'm hosting this, but I'm also an artist myself. And the music industry can be a really, really tough place. A lot of relationships that you may not even know where to get started. So this is the artist. This is the industry. Music Forward is literally that bridging the gap, which is a phenomenal organization. And what is Open Mic Fridays? So Music Forward puts this on every other week. It's a performance showcase where young artists share their talent, they gain exposure. And what makes Open Mic Fridays so different is that these artists are going to receive live feedback directly from industry experts with successful careers in music. Don't you hate when somebody tries to tell you what to do or what you can't do and they ain't never did it before? Just the worst. This is not that. We're going to have experts who are going to pour into these artists right after they perform. So that's what makes this special. All right, so let's get back to the showcase and our amazing lineup. First, we're going to need a little bit of help from you guys who are tuned in. From tonight's lineup, we're going to be giving two special performers a chance to come back for our final showcase next month. The next show we have will be our finals, which is basically the best artists from this season. One of those artists will be the artist with the most fans in the audience. So that's where you come into play. So whoever sent you that link, they're going to need you to show up for them tonight. We have a poll taking place on our Instagram page at Music Forward. And the poll will be running for 24 hours. So head over there and vote for your favorite, whoever you loved, whoever you came to support. Show them love in the poll because that artist will be coming back next month. So we have also partnered with an amazing a company called Sennheiser. They are one of the leading sound and audio companies in the industry, and they are going to provide professional equipment to our artists. So the two artists selected tonight, so one will be the one you select, and the other one will be the industry pick. So our experts will pick their favorite as well. So those two artists will receive a Sennheiser Evolution E835 microphone. They'll be able to use that for both recording and the stage. Listen, that's a great gift because all this stuff can cost a lot of money. The artist selected for our end of season showcase will also receive a pair of headphones, an audio interface, and a 1-hour private session with a professional recording engineer. So whoever makes it to this next month's showcase stands to win a lot, because after that, there'll be one more, and that's where the grand prize will be. received. So now, before we get started with our performances, let us meet our industry guests. Industry guests, please turn on your cameras. Come on in. While you guys are coming in, I'm going to tell the audience about you. Hi, Kelsey. All right. And we have Bobby as well. So let's start, ladies first. Kelsey Felix is a digital marketer for Primary Wave. Kelsey Felix is an experienced digital marketer working with the likes of Smokey Robinson. I don't even need to say anybody else, but there's more, so I'll continue. Smokey Robinson, Fantasia, Eric Benet, and many more. Also an avid songwriter, graphic designer, and photographer, she is consumed in all things music. Kelsey, welcome.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here, and here's some new music.
Yes. So I want to start out by asking you a question.
Oh,
What would you say are some best practices to be discovered on social media today in this social media age that we're in right now?
best practices. I think you have to know the platform that you're using and the algorithm that works best for each platform. I've heard for Instagram, for example, I've heard a lot of people say like, "Oh, I don't see such and such person on my feed anymore." Blah blah blah. Right now, Instagram is really pushing Reels, so I would make sure that you're creating content for Reels, stories, and whatnot. In general, I think I would. I feel like you're gonna have to come back to me because now I'm on the spot and I'm like,
No, but I think what you said first, so right out the gate is really absolutely true. Every platform's not the same. Learn them and see where you need to be on all of them, but definitely prioritize based on what it is that you're trying to achieve. So for sure, I think that was a great answer. And we're going to be tapping in with you more throughout the whole time. So you have a lot more time to give input and feedback. Stick around. I'm going to get into Bobby's. So we have Bobby Brignola, Director of Marketing for Score More Shows. With over 15 years of experience in the industry, Bobby has worked at both the local and national level of marketing for House of Blues, Live Nation, and Score More Shows. His expertise spans from national touring to festival marketing and everything in between. Love that, Bobby. I'm so excited to have somebody like you on because as a live, I love live performing live. I think every artist should master that because that's going to get them paid forever. So I love that you're here. So I want to ask you, what is the number one thing that you are thinking about when planning to market a tour?
Well, first off, I just want to say thank you for having me. And I've been working with Music Forward for a long time. I love the organization, so happy to be here. As far as planning to market a tour, I think it's really getting to know the artist.
Ridiculous. Sorry, guys.
All good. Really getting to understand the artist and who their fans are. Right? Depending on who that artist is going to determine where we're going to find their fans, how to engage with their fans. For example, we're working on a Kehlani tour right now, and, she has just such intimate, passionate fans. So, really learning what they're like, what they want to see, what sort of content that we can drive to really engage with them. That's probably most important. I think at the end of the day, a lot of the buying and the social stuff is going to be, sort of turnkey. So it's really figuring out what's going to make this differentiate itself from other tours and other, content and things like that.
Oh, I love that. And I love that you said that because I feel like even new artists can learn from the importance of knowing their fans, right? Even on a smaller level, like planning and producing your own shows, knowing your fan base is so important when it comes to putting even just a regular show together. So you know what covers to choose and what venue, what time to pick, pricing, all of that stuff comes from knowing your fan base. So I think that on a large scale, that applies. And even the artists today who are going to perform for you guys can learn from that as well. So thank you so much. I'm excited to, pick both of your brains a little bit more throughout the night. So now that we've been acquainted and the audience got to see and hear from you guys, you might both turn off your cameras and we'll see you back soon. All right, you guys, let's get the show started. The last thing I want to do is remind you that the chat on Twitch is open right now, okay? Listen, this can be a tough road being an independent artist. It comes with so many doubts. Some days you feel like a superstar. Some days you feel like, why didn't I just get a 9-to-5? So you never know how far a word of encouragement can go. So send these artists positivity tonight as they're performing, an encouraging word. Keep the chat positive and let's uplift these artists as they showcase their talent tonight. Let's keep the chat live and exciting. Okay, coming to the virtual stage, we have our first performer and the crowd goes wild. I could just feel that energy. Let's go. I want to hear it. I hear it in my mind. I feel it. I feel that y'all are really screaming for Sultan the Giant. Sultan, come on in. I'm going to tell the audience about you. When Sultan the Giant sings, it leaves a mark on the audience. Sultan the Giant is a Chicago-based artist who primarily creates R&B pop. Born and raised in Chicago, Sultan began making music at the age of 15, where he would go to different U-Media centers all around the city. His style resembles the contemporary style of alternative pop, R&B, and neo-soul, sonically focusing on sounds that evoke memories and release repressed emotions. Sultan also uses very vivid and colorful visuals to bring you into the world that he creates. With singles such as Euphoria and Stand Up One More Time, really shows his range. Sultan is known for holding his own on the live performance and recording front. Sultan, welcome.
Hi, everyone. For no one knows me, I'm in the backstage. I am the producer of Open Mic Fridays. Hopefully, we will get Lydia back on soon. But for the moment, I would love to get into some music. So, Sultan the Giant, what are you going to be singing for us today?
Today, I will be singing you my song, Stand Up One More Time.
Amazing, exciting. I'll go ahead and just let you take it away.
Thank you. I'm sorry for my friends who are watching this. Yes, there are no background vocals, but y'all gonna love this regardless anyway, so. Falling through the air when I hit the ground. Do I even care? Silent when I cascade, when I crash and burn, it all goes away. And every time I look around, I don't want participation. I feel like everyone's hating and kicking when they down. And every time I look around, I don't want participation. It feels like everyone's hating and kicking when they down. Don't jump, don't die, just fly. Don't jump, don't die, just fly. Don't jump, don't die, just fly. I know you try, I know you try. But stand up one more time. I know them tears now, going on for weeks now. I know deep down, you wanna sleep now. Please don't give in, cause sleep's the cousin of death. But I know you've been working till your last breath. I know you're tired, you're very tired. You're so weary of this journey, and all the screaming, and all the crying too, is driving you mad, and you don't know what to do. And every time I look around, I don't want participation. It feels like everyone's hating and kicking when they down. And every time I look around, I don't want participation. It feels like everyone's hating and kicking when they down. Don't jump, don't die, just fly. Don't jump, don't die, just fly. Don't jump, don't die, just fly. I know you try, I know you try. But stand up one more time. Just stand up one more time. Thank you. Appreciate it.
So I'm back. Sultan, listen, I loved that. I really just got in just in time to catch the very end, but the passion and conviction that you had was great. So I'm excited to hear what our industry experts have to say. So industry experts, you two may both now turn on your cameras. All right, and we can start with you, Casey. Give some feedback to Sultan.
Hi, Sultan. First of all, I loved your voice, and I actually have a question for you. How did you come up with your artist's name?
Okay, that's actually so funny. So basically, I was going through a lot of artist names because I had a lot of nicknames growing up. And it got to a point where, because my name is Sultan, so like if you search it up, you get a lot of like things from the Middle East. And it's just like, oh, it ruins the search history for Spotify and puts my songs in other people's suggestions. And my sister was just like, why don't you just go with Sultan the Giant? You're kind of tall. Your name is Sultan. Why not? And then Burna Boy's album, African Giant, just dropped. It just felt right.
Nice.
Just went with it. And I said I was going to change it. We never changed it. So
It's stuck.
I love that. Well, your sound reminds me of a mix between Giveon, Brent Faiyaz, and Bryson Tiller. I really liked how you played with the different dynamics, but I would love to
you're cutting.
it's like I feel like at some points you got a lot louder and some points you got a lot quieter, maybe mixing in some more head voice or certain words. I think you said like death or quiet or something like that. It would have been cool to see you not act it out, but act out the word, if you know what I'm saying. But overall, I really like the sound. I really love the song. I love your voice. Yeah, I loved it. And one more note I would just say is be careful with pitch at times. But other than that, it was really amazing. So loved it.
Nice. I think that was great feedback as well. Okay, Bobby.
Yeah, hey Sultan. First off, that was great, man. And I definitely, Giveon is actually somebody I wrote down too. That sort of reminded me of, and I think even the music a little bit of like Leon Bridges. And, I think one of the things that was in your description was, invoking memories and making people feel. And I think, listening to the lyrics that did that for me. So that was something that I really liked. And yeah, I think, just continuing to work on your craft, as far as your singing goes, and just everything in general. But yeah, it really put me in a good space. And I really enjoyed it.
Yay.
Thank you.
I love that.
And how tall are you?
I'm 6'3".
Nice.
Right. That's
Yeah,
fair.
we can tell
fair.
you're sitting down. That would also be like a just something that I would say is that I wish that you were standing just so that you can perform more. But we're also in the Zoom space. It's really weird here. So I'm not trying, I won't take anything away from your choice as to where you are because it's not always the ideal situation, where you can like stand up and give a performance because you may not even have the space for it. But I always consider that during these performances that it's never going to be ideal like being on a stage. So for sure. I would say given the circumstances, you definitely pulled it off. So Sultan, I'm sure I know you have a question for our industry expert. So now is your time to pick their brains.
You know I do. So my question would be, in a situation where like an artist is doing everything they can do, and like everything is like supposedly right, like what is something that often like blindsides a lot of artists, like even when they're doing everything supposedly right, like what is like the big thing that blindsides people that like you just never really hear about, but when it happens you're just like very shocked about?
Whoever wants to answer first can just pop on.
Do you mean like what are artists not thinking of that they should be, or?
It's more like essentially like it's just things like, oh yeah, maybe like in that sense, like it's more of like things that you're thinking about everything else, but there's something else in the back that's just like, oh, and then it blindsides are a lot of artists.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like the business aspect. That would be my answer. A lot of artists forget about that. They just worry about the art, and then they realize, oh yeah, I'm not making any money because this is a business and I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, this might not blindside artists, but I think it's something that's very real, and that's competition. You know, especially as you get bigger and bigger, and you know, you look at labels, right? Like it's a business, and they want to know what's going to sell and what's going to make money. And there are a lot of people competing for dollars and for airtime and for music, and so, you know, and that goes to live concerts too, right? Like you're competing and fighting to get, you know, opening slots, or, you know, an opening act, or being able to be on showcases similar to this. You know, there's other people that are after that too. So I think, you know, not so much looking behind you and seeing who else is coming, but, you know, really always pressing forward. Even if you have a little success, keep going, because there's going to be a lot of other people that are doing the same thing, and maybe more than you. So I would just focus on that.
Yeah, that was great.
Thank you.
I guess from my side, I would say in a similar fashion, there's a lot of different personalities that you'll have to deal with, and different end goals. So for example, like your label is going to want something different from your manager versus your publisher versus what you as the artist wants versus your digital manager, and et cetera, et cetera. I think it's hard for an artist at times to like pick which voice to listen to, and not every artist has the power to choose, you know, when like their album gets released or something like that. There's always, you know, other voices that are in the mix. So I think making sure that you have the most control over your art and your image and your brand is really important. And that gets overlooked at times.
Yeah, great. I think those are both really great answers. Yeah. So if you're in the audience and you came to see Sultan, it is your turn to do your part. Sultan the Giant, head over to @MusicForward on Instagram. Show so much love in the poll if you want to see Sultan come back next time. Yes. And thank you all. All three of you have been awesome, and you all three may now turn off your cameras. All right, you guys. So we're going to move right along to our next artist. Bep, come on in. Come on in. So let me tell you a little bit about this next artist. Bep, a Boston-based musician who makes singer-songwriter style music. He is also co-lead singer in the band MGB. Currently working on his next album, which should hopefully come out next fall. Her, I lied. It's a her. You know what? Turn on your mic on.
All good.
Yeah, you know, it's so funny because I had to improvise just because it was written in the first person, so it says I'm, so I didn't know.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and I saw you yesterday, and I was calling you Belle yesterday.
I know, yeah, that's on me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay, but just to explain to the audience, because I'm sure they were like, "What is she talking about?"
Yeah.
But that's why. So please forgive me.
Yeah, no, of course.
Yeah, so all of that was all about Belle. So, Belle, tell the audience a little bit about the song that you're going to be performing.
So I'm performing I'm Sorry today. This is a song that I had written in October and then produced with some of my friends in my dorm room and then released onto Spotify. Since then, I've just been releasing a couple singles here and there. My music is streaming on Apple Music and Spotify. So if you want to take a look at that, it's under Bep. So
Yeah, BEP, nice and easy. I
yeah.
love it. I love your artist name, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, well, I'm excited because I heard this yesterday and it was phenomenal. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Bep, take it away.
I was too scared to throw away the roses you bought. And I was so scared I left them in the drawer to rot. I thought if I kept them in the same place, everything we had would stay the same, but every rose dies anyway. And I'm sorry if I hurt you somehow, but I'm missing home and I need you right now. I should probably leave. No, it's wrong, but I'll never admit it. And there's no one to blame, 'cause you felt this too. This isn't my fault, though all your songs are true. All of them are true. Yeah, I'll give that to you. And I'm sorry if I hurt you somehow, but I'm missing home and I need you right now. Need you right now. Where'd all the time go? I'm on the last train home for your 18th birthday, babe. And I'm running red lights. I'll leave when the streets have ice, so you can't escape your place. And I'm sorry if I hurt you somehow, but I'm missing home and I need you right now. Need you right now. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Gorgeous, Bep. Oh my goodness. I love that song. I love your voice and your delivery. I could see like you really have a bright future. I'm excited to hear. Yeah, you're welcome, our industry experts. You guys may now both turn on your cameras and let's get some feedback to Bep. Kelsey, we can start with you.
First of all, again, I really loved your voice. I feel like you have a very unique and clear tone. Even through Zoom, I think your delivery of emotion was definitely felt. It almost if you had just been before, like your voice was a little bit still clear tone, but almost raspy, as if you had just. What was your inspiration, or what was your inspiration when writing the song?
Whenever I like write some of my favorite songs, so I'm Sorry is one of my favorite ones. I write them after like getting hurt. So
Wait, let me.
like sitting down at the piano and like kind of getting out like all of my emotions for the song, and then I definitely take a lot of inspiration lyrically from Phoebe Bridgers, and I love Beba Doobie and Jessie Reyez as like I don't know, I like Jessie Reyez is like my like that's
Phenomenal.
why I have like I try to have so much emotion in my voice because like the way that she sings like I feel it, and I want like people to feel that same way with me.
Yeah, that definitely came through, not in your performance as well, not just in the actual song. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Bobby?
Yeah, same thing. I thought it was great. I love that you love Jessie. It's another artist I've worked with for a while, and she's phenomenal, and you are too. Yeah, I think. I mean, I think one thing that I wrote down was that it just felt very personal. And the start of the song, you were singing, and it was all very clear, and it kind of was flowing, and then I actually liked that the emotion came into it, and I felt bad for you as you were singing, which I think is a good thing, right? Because I think that helps the audience really understand what you're going through, and I think that's probably your way of connecting with fans, because there's going to be people who have gone through these same situations. So yeah, it was great. Keep at it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that raw emotion is real. I love it. Love it.
Thank you.
So Bep, what do you want to ask our experts?
So I am currently a rising sophomore at Emerson College, and I'm majoring in business with creative enterprises. So I guess I want to ask, what steps did you take to get to where you are at now career-wise? And is there any advice you could give to someone also studying that industry, studying, this career?
Whoever wants to go first.
Yeah, I'll go first. Two things. One, so when I was in college, I joined just a music organization. It wasn't a business or a music school or anything like that. And it was just, really learning from the grassroots side of things, flyering, production, putting shows together, doing everything we could to help sell tickets. That was really my step. And I think that's where I discovered that that's what I wanted to do long term. And so my advice to you as you continue to grow through college, because you are young still, is, any opportunities to get your foot in the door, whether that's internships, whether it's, if there's an artist that you like that's performing, see if you can shadow somebody on the production team or the box office. Any way just to start to get to know people in the industry. That would be my biggest and best point of advice, because then when jobs and things like that do become available, if you're, still wanting to pursue this world, it's going to be a lot easier when you have those contacts in place.
Mm-hmm. Very great advice. Casey?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I feel like sorry, my Alexa's going off. I feel like
technology ladies, so they're nosy.
The way that I kind of got myself into the industry was definitely internships and taking whatever opportunity came my way. It sucks that a lot of times those opportunities are free, and sometimes people aren't willing to pay you for certain opportunities, but I think you have to kind of decide for yourself what's worth taking, and when you get past the point where you no longer need to take like free opportunities anymore. But at least for now, I would take every opportunity that comes your way. Since you're still in college, I think the best thing to do is probably intern. That's how I got my job now, from interning and just gaining relationships. One more thing I would say is that I think it's best to just be as authentic as possible. And this goes for everyone here. I think a lot of times networking with other industry professionals can be very daunting or just a little bit nerve-wracking. And I think sometimes that makes people feel like they have to put on more of a persona, I guess, to try to impress someone. but just know that what's meant for you is meant for you. You will get there. But just stay true to yourself and stay authentic.
Love it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that was great. Two things I always say is in this industry is people can smell a fake, especially the audience. So always be authentic, which I love that Casey said. And I always say, use your network. That's what this industry is all about. As you grow and evolve, you're going to meet more people. Don't burn bridges. Always be kind to everybody. You never know. Today's intern is tomorrow's CEO. And that's not why you should be nice, but that's also a true fact. You should just be a good person because it's the right thing to do. But today's intern is definitely tomorrow's CEO. So great advice from everybody. Great performance from Bep. So now, audience, it is your turn. If you are here to see Bep, head over to @MusicForward. Show love to Bep in our poll, and she may be the artist that comes back next month. Bep, thank you so much. Thank you, Casey. Thank you, Bobby. You all three may now turn off your cameras. All right, you guys, moving right along with this phenomenal show, we have another dope artist coming to the virtual stage. Everybody, wherever you are, make some noise for Naya J. Come on in, Naya. Let me tell you all about Naya. Naya J is a singer-songwriter as well as a media and radio personality from Chicago. With writing experience since the age of 9 and singing experience since the age of 7, she is a well-rounded music artist. She began to officially record her own music material at the age of 14, using her songwriting skills to then pursue rapping and singing. Music had become her first love. Now she is a full-time singer, ready to take on all the challenges of the industry. Naya J, welcome.
Hi, guys.
We're so excited to have you. Looking extra fabulous today. Tell the audience about what you're going to be performing tonight.
Today, I'm going to be performing my new single, Give It Away. So this is the first time anybody's going to hear it. So yes,
one of those buttons I could just be like, exclusive.
Y'all are getting the hookup. Yes.
Yes, I love that. And I love this record as well. I got to hear you during sound check yesterday. So I'm excited for the audience to get into your phenomenal sound. So without further ado, Naya J, take it away. Ooh, and that rhymes too. I like that.
Lately it don't feel the same. You make me feel some type of way, but I don't wanna give up on us, 'cause I believe in this love. Why don't we communicate? We're struggling to elevate, and you're the only love that I know. I wanna let this go. Maybe if we try one more time, we could possibly get it right. Seems like we're trying to fight, but our hands tied, and we're so tired. If we can't seem to get right, I guess I'll catch you off in the next life. Seems like our love decided to take flight. Just promise you won't give my love away. Love away, love away. Give my love away. Love away, love away. Give my love away. Love away, love away. Give my love away. Love away. Give my love away. Maybe I'd rather just the pain rather than risking things not being the same. Love's the affection that we both know, but who knew this is how our love would grow? I know I miss you if they mention your name. I hope the words I say ain't going in vain. I'll tell my heart so I don't feel the pain. We played our parts and have to lose the game. Maybe if we try one more time, we could possibly get it right. Seems like we're trying to fight, but our hands tied, and we're so tired. If we can't seem to get it right, I guess guess I'll catch you off in the next life. Seems like our love decided to take flight. Just promise you won't give my love away. Don't give my love away. Give my love away. Love away. Give my love away. Love away. Don't give my love away. Give my love away. Love away. Give my love away. Give my love away. Yeah. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, Naya J. I love, love, love that. I mentioned this yesterday. I can totally hear like the Brandy influence, like that classic R&B vibe that you have is so dope and refreshing to hear. You know, a lot of people are doing like different stuff, but that classic R&B sound is so, it's just that. It's nostalgic, it's pure, it's raw, and you have that. So keep that.
Thank you so
You are
much.
so welcome. Let's get our industry experts in here. You guys may both now turn on your cameras. And let's give Naya J some feedback. Go ahead, Casey.
Lovely, lovely, lovely song. Snap, snap, snaps.
Right? It's a bop. It really is.
It was a bop. One of the first things that I noted was that it seemed like you knew your track very well, which, you know, obviously someone would hope that you know your own songs pretty well, but it was almost like you were doing a call and response with your own vocals. Like you knew which parts were like, okay, background, or this goes into the next verse, so I'm going to let the background tracks in. Like you just flowed very seamlessly. So I love that. I also really love the harmonies and background vocals. I thought that they were all pretty like on pitch, on key. And then your sound reminded me of India Ari, and then mixed with like Brandy from back in like the 2000s.
I'm a big fan of Brandy. So.
Brandy all day. As soon as she sang it, I was like, the backgrounds, I was like, Brandy? Is that Brandy?
Yeah. Do
Yeah.
you listen to India Ari at all? Like, is she one of your influences?
I grew up listening to it. My mom never turned it off. So, yeah, if I could, yes, I grew up on her. I didn't listen to her on my own, but just being around it so much, kind of like picking up from her vocal ranges and just being like a student to the music in a way. And I do the same thing with Brandy, Tiana Taylor, Chris Brown, so on and so forth. Just kind of like try to mimic different things that I like and make it my own. So, yeah.
Now that you say it, Tiana Taylor too also comes to mind.
I love her.
The backgrounds is really what sets it off, because all those artists are really, really meticulous about great backgrounds and harmonies. So I think that's a great lane for you.
Thank you.
Okay, Bobby.
Yeah, I'll echo what everybody else said. It was really great. I was actually going to ask you what some of your influencers were. I know you mentioned Tiana, Chris Brown. Are there any others?
Growing up, from my sister, I listened to a lot of Beyonce, so that's where kind of the strong, that's where the strong vocals come in, and learning how to, in the runs, she kind of helped me with that. Beyonce, India Ari, Brandy, who else did I used to listen to? So many, they're not coming to mind because I'm on the spot, but yes, I just kind
That's
of,
all good.
I kind of became a student to the radio. So, and
Yeah.
the speaker was
That's
near me,
great.
so I just used to try to mimic everything and play it by ear.
Yeah, that's great. Honestly, like the first thing that popped in my head was like 90s R&B, just like very smooth, very relaxing. And so, and I am not a singer or an artist by any means, so I don't want to be giving out advice on that stuff. But I will mention that, some of those artists that you mentioned, when you are singing songs like that, it's so crucial that your technique and your you're really working on the mechanics of your vocals because that you really are featuring your voice, and you have a phenomenal voice. But I would just recommend to continue to really work on that, because songs like this and your single, which is great, it's really going to feature you. There's not a lot of other flash going on. So just keep working on your craft.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I think that's great advice. And I say that all the time as artists, like never, as a vocalist, don't stop working on your vocals. No matter how dope you are, like you should always be working on your technique, your breathing, exercises, all that stuff is so important. Cause like Bobby says, when you get on them stages, you got to sing 10 songs. They gonna clown you if you sound crazy. You saw the verses that just happened. And them Ray J clips are viral, baby. Okay. They can't wait to catch you slipping. Okay. So Naya, let's pick our industry experts' heads a little bit, pick their brains.
Of course. So my question to you all is, as an independent artist, what advice would you give me if I want to pursue music full time? Even if I do, with everything else going on in my life, what advice would you give me as an independent artist to strive for success and just keep my, head leveled as a full-time artist?
Are you sure you don't want to go first, Bobby?
I'll go first. Oh, I can go first. What I would recommend is treat it, one, as your full-time job, and number two, think almost like an entrepreneur, right? People say if you ever want to start your own business or whatnot, you got to be working every hour that you possibly can, and I think that's really crucial when you're first starting out. You're going to have to work harder than everybody else. And again, like, Lydia had mentioned about networking, it's just so crucial. Go to clubs, meet talent buyers, try and introduce yourself. I know it's very difficult to do some of that stuff, but find people that you can talk to, ask them who they know. The wider the net that you can throw, the better. I work with students at my alma mater every semester, and all I do is try and connect them with people in the industry. So meet people that can help you, and just continue to grow, because you're young, right? So the bigger you can get that net now, the more likely you are to have success.
Yeah, love that. Casey?
Thank you so much.
Yeah. I'm glad you went first, because I needed some time to kind of think it over, because it's a difficult question to answer. And I think it's one that even I am still wondering myself, but you learn more and more every day. I think the biggest thing that you might tackle as an independent full-time artist would be burnout, because it's something that's talked about a lot, but it gets really overlooked, and it doesn't always look the same for each person. Having to constantly be creative for a living, like you sometimes lose inspiration, or you end up not being able to pursue what you really want to do full time. So you have to pick up other part-time jobs that you might really hate, or someone that you want to work with is like not the best person to work with. Like there's so many things that can kind of come your way and drain your energy, drain your creativity and inspiration. So I think making sure that you are fulfilled mentally, spiritually, creatively is the most important thing to do. And just making sure that you're happy first, because without that good foundation and mental rock, like this music is always going to be there. Something that I know a lot of my friends are independent artists, and it's really hard to like get people to still come to shows. Like they're working other jobs and still trying to do shows and still trying to like, it just gets overwhelming. So I think making sure that you mentally are good is the number one thing.
One final word of advice that you would give to these artists here and any independent artists out there watching, just one tip, one takeaway, what would it be? Casey, your mic's on, so you going first.
I would say knowing that, again, what's for you is for you. So, whether you're like, damn it, like I missed this opportunity, don't act like another opportunity won't come your way. There will always be a place for you, an opportunity for you, because what's for you is for you. And your path is the right one that you're on. Rome was not built in a day, and you're still very young. So you still have the chance to fail. Some of you might still be living with your parents, which is great because that's the best time to fail because you still have a place to live and a place to go.
Yes.
So fail now. Don't be afraid. Like, take risks now and make your mistakes now. I mean, you can make mistakes throughout all of your life, but now is the best time to chase your dreams and go after what you want, and it'll come to you no matter what because it's for you.
Love it. Fail forward. That's what I always say. There's a lesson in every single failure. Just fail this way. All right, Bobby?
Yeah, I thought that was great advice, Casey. I would say, be true to yourself. And that, sort of ties in with the label or not label thing. Do what you feel is right. You don't have to listen to everyone. You don't have to take everyone's advice. You don't have to take our advice. Just do what you feel is best for you, because at least that way, then you've followed your own heart and your own track. And then really just continue to work on your brand. Figure out what you want to be, what you want to represent, and try and have that through everything, through your performance, through your social channels, through your website, through everything. Really try and make and keep things cohesive. Because at the end of the day, as you start to get bigger, people are going to come back and they're going to look through stuff, and you want everything to be nice and clean, and really reflect who you are as a person and as an artist. So, stay true to yourself.
Love it. Love that. Casey, Bobby, we appreciate you so much here at Music Forward. Like, we couldn't do this without people like you. So thank you. Thank you. You guys gave great advice all throughout the evening. We appreciate you, and you two may both now turn off your cameras. Once again, I am Lydia Caesar. It is my absolute pleasure to host Open Mic Fridays and to spend this time with you. Go out and enjoy the rest of your Friday night. Thank you so much. Peace.